What happens when Hanoi falls asleep? Where do millions of these flowers come from? Do they truly trade in complete darkness? And just how difficult is the struggle to make a living at 1 in the morning? Hello, I am Thai, a native of Vietnam. I want to show you a completely different side of life, a hidden rhythm of this city that most people have never seen before. It is currently midnight in Vietnam, yet the streets are still surprisingly alive, pulsing with the movement of countless people navigating the cool night air. As you approach the market area, the atmosphere dramatically shifts. You begin to see the heavy trucks, roaring motorbikes, and custom-built utility vehicles, all gathering in a restless anticipation for the night's heavy labor. Traffic jams are a remarkably common sight here, even in the dead of night. The roads winding into the market are simply not wide enough to contain this sudden burst of nocturnal commerce. Heavy delivery trucks line up bumper to bumper, their engines idling as workers prepare to unload mountains of cargo. At the same time, eager buyers and seasoned merchants are constantly weaving through the narrow gaps, pressing forward into the heart of the market. It is a chaotic yet beautifully choreographed dance of survival, everyone navigating the tight spaces, driven by the urgency of the trade. To navigate this dense maze efficiently, I usually park my motorbike outside and proceed on foot. Walking grants you the freedom to slip through the congested paths, dodging the endless stream of heavily loaded cargo bikes passing by. Looking down from above, the market reveals itself as a mesmerizing sea of frantic energy. The dark canvas of the night is violently pierced by the harsh, glowing lights of countless LED bulbs suspended over the makeshift stalls. Underneath this artificial twilight, a sudden explosion of vibrant colors emerges. A breathtaking, glowing mosaic of millions of blooming flowers waiting to be claimed before the early dawn breaks over the city. Stepping into the heart of the market, you are immediately hit by a powerful, intoxicating wave of fragrances. It is a complex perfume woven from the deep, earthy sweetness of lotus flowers, blending seamlessly into the romantic, velvety scent of fresh roses. As you push deeper, the crisp, herbal notes of chrysanthemums clear the air, quickly followed by the rich, heavy perfume of blooming lilies and the subtle brightness of hibiscus. These are not just local blooms. This massive floral gathering is a convergence of nature from across the entire country. Many of these delicate flowers have traveled hundreds of kilometers through the night, harvested from the sprawling, misty fields of My Linh just outside the capital, or transported in refrigerated trucks all the way from the cool, mountainous highlands of Dalat. Each petal carries the specific climate and soil of its origin, brought together in this damp, dimly lit alleyway to be sold before the morning sun can wilt their fragile beauty. The unsung heroes of this ecosystem are the delivery riders and their heavily modified, custom-built motorbikes. These machines are stripped of all non-essential parts, reinforced with heavy iron frames to carry impossible loads. They are no longer just vehicles, they are mechanical beasts of burden. Watching a driver effortlessly balance hundreds of kilograms of fragile blooms on a two-wheeled frame, navigating through impossibly tight spaces, is a testament to the raw ingenuity and quiet resilience required to survive in this city. The business dynamics here vary drastically in scale, creating a stark contrast under the fluorescent lights. You will see small, solitary vendors sitting on low plastic stools, offering modest buckets of hand-picked blooms. Directly across from them stand the massive wholesale operations. These larger stores dictate the market's rhythm. Because of their sheer volume, they offer significantly better prices, drawing in dense crowds of buyers. Their spaces are overflowing with towering walls of inventory, providing an overwhelming variety of choices for retail shop owners. It is a harsh ecosystem. The massive vendors move incredible volume to survive, while the smaller sellers trade on personal connection and the quiet hope of selling just enough to make the night's grueling hours worthwhile. The Quang Flower Market has stood as the nocturnal heart of Hanoi since the mid-1990s. Its peak operating hours are famously brutal, thriving primarily from 11 at night until the very early dawn. It is defined by a restless, enduring energy, operating entirely inverted from the normal world, standing as a beautiful sanctuary of color blooming under the cover of absolute darkness. There is a profound, gritty beauty in watching the porters work. With steady, practiced hands, they hoist towering stacks of heavy flower boxes onto the waiting delivery trucks. Sweat glistens on their foreheads under the harsh yellow lights. It is a grueling, back-breaking labor that demands physical endurance, yet they move with a quiet, undeniable grace. Their silent sacrifices ensure that the city wakes up to the vibrant beauty of fresh flowers every single morning. Amidst the chaos, I stumbled upon a simple motorbike retrofitted into a mobile refreshment stand. The vendor was selling small bags of popcorn and a beloved local street drink, a refreshing sweet soup called che. It is a masterclass in contrasting textures, chewy white tapioca pearls and smooth, brightly colored green jelly, all swimming in a perfectly balanced, ice-cold sugar syrup. In the heavy, humid air of the night market, taking a sip of this icy, fragrant drink feels like absolute salvation. It is surprisingly delicious, instantly cooling the body and soothing the fatigue of the night. This modest, rolling cart is a vital oasis for the weary workers, offering a brief, sweet moment of respite before they must plunge back into the relentless rhythm of the trade. My wife and I selected a bundle of fresh lilies for $4 and a small, delicate bouquet of roses for nearly $2. We will bring them home to brighten our living space and to carefully arrange them on our ancestral altar, a deeply rooted spiritual tradition for Vietnamese families. Leaving the market behind, the overwhelming sensory rush begins to fade, replaced by a deep sense of respect. The people here possess a quiet, unbreakable resilience. There is a profound beauty in their labor, a dignity found in pushing through the exhaustion of the night to provide for their families. This place is more than just a point of commerce. It is a raw, breathing testament to the local culture. It is a community built on hard work, nocturnal sacrifice, and the enduring Vietnamese spirit of survival. On the dark ride home, the desolate streets offered one last burst of life. A humble night food stall operated by a young, tireless couple. There is a poetic contrast between businesses that thrive in the sunlight and those that awaken only when the world goes dark. Day businesses cater to the rushed and the corporate. Night stalls cater to the weary, the heartbroken, and the exhausted laborers seeking brief comfort before dawn. We sat down for a steaming bowl of boon long, a rich, complex noodle soup that wastes nothing. It features an intensely savory broth, poured over fresh rice noodles and an array of traditional toppings, tender pork intestines, rich liver, and delicate cubes of coagulated broth, all balanced perfectly with crisp bean sprouts and the sharp, earthy bite of fresh coriander. The texture is a remarkable journey of chewy, soft, and crunchy elements, bound together by a deeply comforting warmth. Watching this young couple methodically serve bowl after bowl in the dead of night, I am struck by a humbling realization. Every form of honest labor, whether pushing a heavy cart of flowers at 2 in the morning or serving hot soup on a lonely street corner, is incredibly precious. It is a grueling, relentless grind, yet they perform it with a quiet, stoic dignity that demands absolute respect.
Tới đây.
Back home, in the absolute, heavy quiet of my kitchen, the final essential task of the night begins. I carefully unwrap the tight plastic binding from the fragile stems, finally freeing the flowers from their long, exhausting journey. I fill a large metal basin with cool, fresh water and gently submerge the ends of the stems, giving them a chance to drink, to slowly revive, and to bloom beautifully in preparation for tomorrow's daylight. As I stand there watching the delicate petals gently settle and breathe in the water, I find myself deeply reflecting on this entire hidden ecosystem. The nightlife of this city is not about loud parties, flashing neon lights, or entertainment. For the vast, unseen majority, the night is a massive, silent factory of survival. It is a grueling, uncelebrated shift where people willingly trade their precious sleep for a fragile chance at a slightly better tomorrow. This quiet hustle exists entirely in the shadows, perfectly invisible to those who wake up comfortably to the warmth of the morning sun. It leaves me thinking deeply about your world. When your city goes completely dark and the streets empty out, who are the invisible hands that keep it breathing and running? What does the raw, unfiltered struggle for survival look like in the quiet shadows of your own hometown?
네?